Hello, everybody. This is Julie Gessner and Heather from the SettleMINT team. Just a little housekeeping before we get started while folks are logging in. You are available for chat. You saw us chatting with you a little bit ago, so please do keep the conversation lively and chat with us during the conversation. I am Julie Gessner. Welcome to Get Connected. Get Connected is a monthly webinar series focusing on CU Answers management services and the people who drive them. Again, I'm Julie Gessner, Sales Coordinator here at CU Answers Management Services, and my primary role here at CU Answers is to assure that you are connected to the right people within the organization at the right time. Get Connected is a 30-minute introductory session on the value of CU Answers Management Services. Sessions will include a discussion of what's hot in the industry and help participants plug into key resources within the CU-based and CUAnswers.com network. Sessions are intended to be informative and a lot of fun as well. Today, I'm here to introduce Heather French from the CU Answers SettleMINT team. I'm very excited to have Heather here today. So Heather, tell us about yourself and SettleMINT.
Thank you, Julie. My name is Heather French. I am a Vice President of Managed Services. I actually oversee a couple different teams here at CU Answers. The one we're going to be focusing on today is the SettleMINT team. As far as myself goes, I've been with CU Answers for about 10 years. I started off in the client services team, moved to conversions, and moved to SettleMINT, and then became the Vice President. So it's kind of bounced around a little bit.
Yeah, so Heather, you at one point, you told me the story of how you got started in credit unions specifically. Can you share that? Because I think it's so interesting.
Absolutely. I actually started when I was 15. I decided to go to a program here in Michigan called Kent Career Technical Center. They actually had a computerized banking program back then. So I took the computerized banking program and connected with our teacher, who actually happened to be on the board of directors for a local credit union here. And they had a branch that was inside that organization, and I started working there and just kind of progressed from there.
I just love that story. I think that's so interesting how technology evolved over the years, and you landed here at CU Answers and are doing what you're doing today. I think it's so inspiring. So thank you for joining us. Tell us about SettleMINT. What do you do at SettleMINT?
SettleMINT is one of the areas that I get super excited about. The SettleMINT team is kind of what I like to call one-stop shop. We like you to contact us when you have questions regarding your plastics or bill pay. With the plastic side of the house, if you're wanting to make changes with vendors, if you're wanting to add new services, new products, your vendors maybe like Vantif, for example, or Fiserv are launching a new service and you want to incorporate that into your company, you need to contact us. A lot of times we have to work with the vendors to make a new product work for the credit union. So it's kind of something we run on the ATM debit and credit side. And then on the bill pay side, we're here to support your bill pay needs for your members. We work with Payveris and iPay and Fiserv, all three vendors right now.
So tell me a little bit more about that. Let's break it down.
Sure.
SettleMINT can be broad. It's a little confusing, so let's try to break it down. So I heard credit, debit, and bill pay.
Yep.
Did I get them all?
You got them all.
Okay, great. Tell me a little bit about bill pay. What do you do with bill pay?
So we are the people who, in a new conversion, or if somebody wants to make a vendor change, we're the teams that get engaged. We will actually help credit unions convert your data if that's what we need to do. We're the team that actually will support you. So if you have questions or members having any issues, then the SettleMINT team is the team that you would call, and we would assist you with that. We have our own personal, we call it a hunt group here, call center basically, that my team engages any credit unions that call.
So I might be a credit union who might have a program and wants to make a change.
Yep.
I might be a credit union coming on board to CU Answers, or I might be a credit union that perhaps doesn't have a bill pay program and I want to start one. And then, so would you provide consulting to me to be able to help?
Yep.
Okay, and then, so specifically your team then would answer questions relative to the bill pay process. SIP, right?
Absolutely.
Did I get that right?
Yep.
Okay, good.
You got it.
Awesome. That can be confusing. Then what about the credit side? Tell me a little bit about what your offering is on credit.
Sure. We offer a variety of things with credit. It's really hard to summarize exactly what the settlement team does because anything associated with those three types, so to speak, are things that we do. From a credit perspective, we will take somebody who is what we call in a batch environment or an off-trial balance type of environment, and we move them online. Moving them online allows the member to actually see the loan inside its Me 247, right? It allows them to make withdrawals in online banking if they allow it. The credit union's configurations allow it. The credit union has a little more control over their credit card loan categories and the way that things can be reported. So there's a lot of things that can be involved with moving somebody from a batch environment to an online environment. We also support online credit cards. As I kind of mentioned, we move somebody over from a batch to an online environment. In the online environment, if a credit union's already there, they might contact us because they want to run a promotion. They want to run a promotional program. So we might say, okay, this is what you have in mind from a marketing perspective. This is what we can do from a CU-based perspective. And then we marry the two together and we can help them launch a program. That's a free service, by the way, so make sure to contact us. Yeah.
So is that free for anybody?
It is.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, we like to help. We want to help increase, your card productions, your card portfolios, your programs, your loan balances. We like to help increase those types of things. And, sometimes it's a matter of just walking the credit unions through how to configure it themselves or helping them configure it.
So I wouldn't necessarily have to be starting a new program to call you.
No, not at all.
I could call you if I want to relaunch a program, or if I wanted to strengthen what I'm already doing. That might be an area that you can assist with.
Absolutely.
Is that true? So I'm also hearing some flexibility in CU-based where there's configurations that I might not know about that you could help me with.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So then I think we've discovered more about bill pay and credit. Tell me a little bit about debit.
The debit side and some of the things that we're going to talk about also kind of correlate back to credit as well. From the debit perspective, if you're looking at changing vendors, you would contact our team. We'll get you a project going, and we'll actually hold your hand and walk you through moving from one vendor to another vendor. There's a lot of things involved with all of that, so we like to be engaged very early and help that whole process. My team's kind of a little bit of a control team. We like to take control, and we like to make sure that things are going to go smooth for the credit union and for the members, and try to make it as seamless as possible for everybody. We do it every day, so we like to consider ourselves the experts, and we will advise if something does come up.
So you're like a liaison.
Absolutely.
Between us, CU Answers, a vendor, and a credit union.
Yeah.
And really able to pull those strings together to make it a cohesive plan.
That's correct.
Right?
Yep.
That sounds excellent. And I've seen you in action and the team in action, and really it's very true. I've seen that cohesion and action and really happen in that way. So I know that that's something that I appreciate from your team as well. So thank you for that.
The other big key thing that the team does when it comes to plastics is if you have a member who's having some issues with a card or something along those lines, and you're unable to identify what the issue is, instead of contacting your vendor, we like you to contact us. If you contact us, we might be able to resolve it for you very quickly. And if we need to engage your vendor, then we'll either, depending on your contracts with your vendor, some vendors will talk to us without you, some will not. So we may have to have you engage your vendor with us as well. But we like to pull everybody together, get a conference call together, and get a resolution instead of you having to talk to us and then talk to them because they're saying, no, it's, CU Answers, no, it's the vendor, no, it's. We like to just get rid of all of that and try to just keep it here and let us help you get to a resolution.
Excellent. Excellent. Tell me a little bit about how to connect with your team. So you have a team. You don't just do this all by yourself. We've talked a lot about your team. Tell me a little bit about them.
I have a team right now that consists of 3 other team members. We have Shanti Geyer. She is my team lead for the settlement team. We have Nicole Cooper, and we have Monica Fulgenzi. Those are my 3 teammates right now.
Okay, and so they'll have the same role?
They do. They all have the same role. Everybody is available and able to assist with all different areas or all different items that you may or may not, or that you may call on. They all are account executives here, so they are very strong in our project plans and what we do on a daily basis. They're a great team.
They are, and I've seen them in action too. I have the pleasure, actually, of just working right around the corner, and the interaction that you have daily is just really exciting to watch. And I think it's a transformational experience between other teams here at SettleMINT to really be able to be inspired by that and really know how to work together cohesively. So that's just one really great thing too that I noticed. Tell me about some of the requirements. As a credit union, I might not have a person today that's really allocated to credit, debit, and bill pay. What kind of experience would that person need in order to interact with your team?
None. We try to walk them through as much as needed. We realize that not everybody can fully see what we can see too, but not everybody can really just run with that type of program, and we understand that. So if anybody calls us, we're happy to, kind of take 10 steps back and walk people through what needs to be done, or, hey, this is what I see, this is how I see it, and we're going to show you how we got to that point.
So really, I don't need any technical experience, maybe a little organizational skill, but just anyone that's a credit union can really engage with your team.
Absolutely.
Really tell me about some of the educational offerings that you have. How would I learn more about SettleMINT?
We have quarterly newsletters that our team sends out.
My favorite.
Right? So if you're not on our list, please reach out to us and let us know that you're interested, and we can get you on the list. But we send out quarterly newsletters, and in there we kind of highlight some of the key things, maybe some changes in the releases that are going on that we really want to just kind of drive a little bit more. So we do quarterly newsletters. If there's specific things coming up that we want to highlight, we might do call campaigns or announcements or alerts that we might send out to the credit unions just to kind of keep everybody engaged. Of course, we have our SettleMINT website. We do update that and keep things out there as well. So those are.
Yeah, and I noticed that your team engages a lot with the SettleMINT education team and offering some of the university courses and training those courses specific to CU-based and some of the product services that you offer. So I think that's a wonderful thing too. So folks, if you haven't engaged in those university courses yet, they're really wonderful, and Heather's team does a great job of promoting and supporting those classes, so get involved with those. Questions about that can be directed to the SettleMINT client services team as well as Heather's team. So please do that. Tell me a little bit about what drives your passion and energy for SettleMINT.
The unknown. It really is the unknown. You could try to plan out your day, but in the plastics world, there's nothing that is the same on a daily basis. You might be doing a conversion 1 minute and you have somebody whose card isn't working the next minute, and now you're being an investigator and you're trying to figure out why that's not working. So I just love the unknowns and how you're kind of, a lot of people ask in an interview if you're like the roller coaster or if you just kind of, like to just chug along, and I'm definitely a roller coaster person. I like the highs and the lows.
Excellent. You sparked my memory, actually, and you said the unknowns, and one of those unknowns is fraud, right? So I know that, does your team have a service when a credit union has had an experience where they have a batch full of cards that have been compromised in some way? Is that something that you do?
Yeah, we actually have a couple different types of fraud programs. The first one is card related, so we call that a compromised card program. So if the credit union gets a list, they call it a CAMS list from Visa or MasterCard, saying these people utilized the cards at this place and they found fraudulent activity from there. You can provide us that file. We'll take that file, we'll do a complete mass reissue of those cards for your members, and then we'll go back within 30 days and we'll close those old compromised cards on your behalf. So that way your members are going to use a new card that's not compromised and make sure that there's no loss to the credit union as well.
It's an excellent way for our folks to protect themselves and their members. So should SettleMINT be their first stop?
Yes, contact SettleMINT. I know a lot of times credit unions will reach out to the vendors and want to do it from the vendor side, and the vendor can do that, but you still have to engage us because we have to go back and we have to build all those cards in CUBA. So I personally think to save you money, start with us. Let us do it all because we'll send a batch maintenance file that will build it at the vendor instead of doing it the vendor and then having us have to write a separate program to take in their file.
So little tips, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so thank you for that.
The second fraud piece that I want to add in here too would be bill pay fraud. So depending on who your vendor is, typically iPay handles their own, Fiserv handles their own. Payveris is a integrated bill pay tool inside our online banking program, and we have the ability to offer a fraud service called PayWatch in connection with Payveris. And with that tool, the credit unions can choose to monitor fraud themselves or elect to have SettleMINT do the monitoring for them as well. So we have that new product that we're I think we're doing a call campaign this month, maybe it was last month, if I actually quite remember. But we did a call campaign where we're trying to reach out to everybody and let everybody know that that service is available, and we'd be happy to do some monitoring for you. Of course, there are specific things that will always go back to the credit union for final review, maybe if you have to reach out and talk to a member as well. So a couple different fraud.
Yeah, that's excellent. So tell me a little bit about what's hot in SettleMINT right now. I think that was one, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what's hot in SettleMINT.
Some of the other thing that is starting to cool down, but it's still hot for us, is EMV.
What is EMV?
EMV is the little chip that goes in your card. Yes. It's got a big, long technical name. I won't bore you with that. But yes, EMV has definitely been something where we've had to assist credit unions with doing mass reissues to get everybody on a chip card as opposed to a magstripe card. We had a big project with one of the vendors where we had to recertify a lot of credit unions. So we have, I believe we just wrapped up our last one for the year. So we've been doing that all year long with that one particular vendor. So that's been very time consuming and big project for our team for sure.
So EMV is hot.
Yeah.
I noticed we talked a little bit about Payveris and some of the hot things there with bill pay and being able to monitor transactions. So that's really exciting. And I think there was another one for people for credit cards. Am I right?
Yeah, we're always reaching out to credit unions. We want to talk to you if you're not in an online environment. We definitely want to talk to you about our online environment and what benefits that has for you and how we could move you to that online environment. And that is a free service from us. We will happily participate in a 6-month project, it's typically about how long they take, and move you from an online, a batch type environment to our online environment. Which gives you a little bit more control, and most credit unions typically find around a 40% savings to move to that environment. Plus, your members get to see it in online banking, so
it's a plus for sure. On the member side, for me, at least as a member, I love to be able to have that interaction with my information and knowing what's happening in my accounts. But tell me a little bit about how it engaged with you. Would I order it from the store? Would I look on the
Absolutely.
website?
Yep. We have every product that we could think of. There might be some that we're missing, but we have every product that is available to our members at cuanswers.com. You can go there and you can actually see the batch programs. You can see that if you're looking at changing vendors, we have a item that you can purchase from the store that says, I want to change vendors. So you can select that option. We have our compromised card listed out there. We try to list as many prices out there as we can. Sometimes I'm going to use the online vendor change as an example. I don't list a price for that out at our store because it can vary so much. We don't know if we have to do certification. We don't know if you're getting new bins. We don't know if you're doing a mass reissue. So, those are types of things where we just want you to say, yes, this is what I want to do, and we'll contact you and gather some more information and then give you a quote. So on those, you'll see at the store, they typically say quote provided.
start, I think, would be our website at cuanswers.com.
Absolutely.
Hover over solutions and hit the settlement button, and you'll see lots of information about settlement there. From there, you can connect to the store or just go direct to store.cuanswers.com and look at settlement there. And that's the services that Heather was speaking about, to be able to go in and review each of our services and products in the offering. Many of the prices are listed there, and then from there, complete the form, and that'll initiate the engagement from the team, who will then call, and you can describe the service in better detail, provide some additional pricing when applicable, and go from there. Does that sound, did I get that right?
100%.
Ooh, that was kind of long, but I'm glad I did. So folks, if you haven't investigated either the website or the store, or just engage with Heather's team, just give them a call direct, and we can go from there. But they're a great team, they truly are, and they just have everyone's best intentions in mind. So if you haven't done that yet, please do that. It would just be amazing, and I think just rewarding experience for you as well. Introduce yourself. Okay, so tell me, to wrap up, we've got a couple more minutes. We've talked about technical requirements, we talked about what drives your passion, and we talked about your team some. Now tell me a little bit more about you. What's your favorite word?
That is a funny one, and I'm gonna have to say my favorite word is probably bucket. And I'll tell you the story behind that. So as I was first on the settlement team, and I was located in a cube up here, for those of you that don't know, we're upstairs at CU Answers. The collections team happened to sit right next to me, and when they changed locations, we had a going away party, and we went and had dinner together and said our goodbyes, and they changed the location. It was just a fun night out. One of the ladies said, "Heather, I'm gonna miss you, and I'm gonna miss your bucket." And I said, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "All day long, all I do is hear you on the phone talking about your bucket." So she's referencing probably management config sessions that I'm doing from my desk, or me talking to credit unions, telling them they have to do account adjustments on their credit card loans, because each credit card loan has a cash advance, a purchase, and a balance transfer bucket. So
I remember now.
I tend to say buckets a lot, and she will not let me forget that. Like, buckets.
Do you have a personal motto?
I do. I have a personal motto. If you talk to my team, they'll tell you this as well. I always say, if it's not on my calendar, it doesn't exist. I am constantly bouncing from meeting to meeting, internal, external. I've even told my family the same thing. If you need me to do something, make sure you send me a meeting invite. It's got to go on my calendar, or I will forget.
So your kids know how to schedule a meeting.
Yes, they do. They have to.
Yeah, that balance is so important. And I tell you, I love my phone. So tell me what you most love about your job and CU Answers and SettleMINT, and kind of bring that all together for us.
I think I kind of touched base a little bit on this earlier. One of the things that I love the most is the unknown. I am the roller coaster person, and I like the highs and the lows, and sometimes the lows more than the highs, but I just like the unknown. I like thinking I have a plan for the day, and then if I have to become an investigator, I kind of get excited and try to venture down that road and be that investigator and get a resolution for the credit unions as quickly as we can. That's kind of one of my favorite things to do.
So when you're talking about being an investigator, and I see a lot of what your daily work is being an investigator, right? So not just that high and low, but just helping a credit union along in the experience, right? And really just investigating alongside of them and shoulder to shoulder working, and just really understanding your goals, what the goal is, how to use the system in the best way, right, to reach those goals, and to use your team and then various other teams as well. And
absolutely,
in you in action and doing that day to day. And I love that passion that you have for it, but your team does too.
Yes,
and I think it's very inspiring for them to see you in action in that way.
And we work very closely with our EFT programming team. So I want to give them a little plug here too. We work very closely with them, and they show us, there's a lot of things that we can't display to credit unions based on how transactions flow from the merchants through the vendor to us and post. There's a lot of behind the scenes things there. And we could not do it without the EFT programming team. They break things down for us, and they give us the technical spiel, which will allow us to twist it around and kind of give it a little more of a user-friendly spiel that we can give back to the credit unions. So we work hand in hand with that team for sure.
Yeah, they're a great team. So let's wrap it up. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate it. So how is the best way to reach your team?
The best way to reach the team is you can contact us by calling our call center, or our hunt group as we like to call it. That phone number is 1-800-327-3478. And our extension is 309. And extension 309 will get you the next available representative that I have on our team. And our website. Our website is the best way to really reach us. Let us know what you're interested in, so when we give you that call back, we kind of have an idea of where to start talking and how to start the interaction, because we know what you're looking for as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again, and thank you all for attending today. Don't forget to head out to SettleMINT Team's website at cuanswers.com, the store at store.cuanswers.com, or to give Heather's team a call. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.